Wait a second now, did Joe Biden just confirm that Workhorse is getting the USPS contract? Let's check it out. Yo, what's up everyone? So it's Calculate Investing here, and today we are taking a look at Workhorse, and I have some very interesting news for you all today, and this could actually be a huge catalyst right now for the stock next week. Let's get into it. Okay, so taking a look at Workhorse right now. So as most of you probably know, Workhorse has gone up a lot in the past few months, and it's mainly because of the speculation that Workhorse could get and they have high possibilities of getting the contract with the USPS, so the US Postal Service. And this is a huge deal. This contract is insanely huge. It's about $8.2 billion, and then long term, like in 10 years, it's going to be like 20 billion because of maintenance and infrastructure and stuff. So when you consider Workhorse market cap of around 4 billion, which has been a lot lower before this stock started running, a 8 up to 20 billion deal is a pretty huge deal, and the deal with the US Postal Service is not even very certain. It's very unclear who will first of all get it, but then also if it will be only one company which will get the contract, or if several companies will get parts of the contract. So nothing is clear. But the thing is that there's a lot of potential, and if Workhorse, for example, would get a deal, even half of the deal, it would be insanely huge comparing the deal to the market cap. Yeah, and this is pretty much the reason why Workhorse is getting hyped up right now. But yeah, so let's take a look at this single biggest catalyst which has moved Workhorse, and it's pretty much the only catalyst you need to know about right now for Workhorse. Let's take a look. Okay, so taking a look at who are the finalists in this competition for the USPS contract, and the criteria for this competition is that you need to be almost fully electric, so about, I think it was like 70% emission free, and then you should be 100% American. So these are the criteria, and first on the list we have Oshkosh/Ford, and they have submitted an international combustion engine vehicle, and they have a fairly long history of federal contracts. There we have the first finalist, and then we have Cars and Motors, a plug-in hybrid vehicle owned by a Turkish company. So Cars and Motors are pretty much owned by a Turkish company, which already is a pretty bad sign for them, I would say. And then we have Workhorse, of course, the only fully electric, fully American owned company. And yeah, here we have the finalists. And when you take a look at this, Cars and Motors, I think they're pretty much out already. I think the only one who could get a big part of the contract is Oshkosh/Ford, and the reason is pretty obvious. Cars and Motors, I mean, if they're owned by a Turkish company, I mean, it's pretty obvious why they are left out. You know, it doesn't really matter how good they are. But yeah, taking a look at Ford or Oshkosh, this is a real competitor to Workhorse, but they're not fully electric, and this is the thing. You can look at this like fully electric could be worse, or then that if we are going to transition to a more green and sustainable economy, it's just better to put up the infrastructure and the electric vehicles now, rather than now having some sort of hybrids and then later on switching to more like fully electric vehicles. So yeah, I mean, the only logical company to take here, I would say, is Workhorse, because if we're going to transition to a fully electric society, a sustainable society, fully electric vehicles, that is pretty much the only way. So I pretty much don't see the point in taking this middle route and taking a hybrid vehicle when you could just go with the fully electric one. So yeah, this is the reason why many have been so bullish on Workhorse. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to say who's going to win, but I would think it's Workhorse, you know? Just looking at these things, I would think it's Workhorse, and especially now with Biden, who is really emphasizing the importance of moving to fully electric vehicles and to this sustainable trend. I think the only logical choice would be Workhorse, just looking at all of these things. Okay, yeah, so I know this was a pretty brief analysis of the situation with the USPS contract, but I know that there's so much information out there, and probably most of you already know how things are looking. So I'm not gonna go into more deeper facts right there. But yeah, those are just like quickly the things to look at. And then of course Workhorse, they have a lot of other opportunities as well, with the drones and other companies that are interested in working with them. So of course e-commerce and everything is growing rapidly now, so these vans will be more important to have in the future as well. So yeah, but then we will get into the thing which you all have been waiting for. So did Joe Biden just confirm that Workhorse is getting the contract? Okay, so things are looking pretty bullish when you're taking a look at the stock price. Now we will get into the thing that I think could be a sign. I'm not sure. Leave down in the comments if this is a sign of Workhorse getting the contract. Let's check it out.
The governor's been on the front lines of this pandemic as well for a long time, and I think she's doing an incredible job in very difficult circumstances. And Michigan is also fortunate to have my buddy Gary Peters as United States Senator and Debbie Stabenow. Gary is here. Gary has been a workhorse in making sure that we move through this funding to get things done.
Okay, but in all seriousness, I really do believe that Workhorse will get the contract, and that is why I'm also invested in Workhorse. And lately, ARK Invest has also been buying up a lot of shares of Workhorse, so I believe Kathy Wood is also believing that they will get the contract. But always remember to do your own due diligence and research. I'm not a expert or financial advisor, so always remember to do your own due diligence here and there. But if you like this kind of content where I break down companies, I put out my due diligence out there, please make sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed. And you know what, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.